What Funkadeneva said about Chloe Bailey on Fox Soul is misogynistic. And instead of focusing on that point, we're too busy critiquing him for his looks instead of examining the history he has had talking about black women on his platform. Let's talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
So what's going on, you all? I have seen the clip from Fox Soul of Funkadeneva critiquing and talking about Chloe in her response to defending her sister Hallie from pregnant rumors and all that. And let me tell you something. I'm not surprised. I've been named that Funkadeneva is a misogynist and he is severely anti-black. And as intelligent as he thinks he is, his understanding of blackness and anti-blackness is very limited. And I don't think that he is willing to unpack that or even give that any thought. So I'm not surprised that he made that comment, because Funkadeneva has a history of critiquing black women. Now, I want to have a real conversation about this because it's been bothering me for a minute. And it goes into the conversation about black men putting on wigs and making fun of black women, participating in these stereotypes and this caricature stuff. Over the years, black men have been doing it and building massive platforms from it. It's been a conversation, and not many people have really talked about it as much in a way for people to understand where it comes from and how it hurts black women and how it perpetuates stereotypes about black women and how black women do not benefit from it at all, and only men gain power and visibility from mocking black women. So in this, having a conversation about how Dineva has moved over the years and also the things that he has said about Chloe, you have to talk about blogging and, YouTubers, bloggers, all that, critiquing pop culture, and how often black men like myself were, operating in misogyny while having a conversation about pop culture and thinking because we are gay black men that we are not the same as cis hetero black men. Like, we don't hold the same power, but we are still men at the end of the day, and we still benefit from patriarchy. That's something that I have worked on and continuously working on now, is how I speak about black women when I'm talking about pop culture and stuff, and making sure that I still understand that, I am a black man, I am a man that benefits from patriarchy, so I have to check myself when being critical of, women in pop culture. Like, we can't say that we love women, and then you drag women to this type of degree. There was no need for Funkadeneva to name or say anything about Chloe's looks. There was no need to do that at all. Chloe Bailey is a beautiful, talented black woman, point blank, period. There was no need to talk about her like she had done harm to somebody. There was no need to critique her for defending her sister. There was no need to do any of that. And people are twisting themselves in knots trying to understand why Dineva will say something like that. Even for folks who are still watching him in 2023. But if you honestly paid attention, Dineva has been saying stuff like this for the longest. Like, people have written articles about it and talked about it intensively, about his hatred towards black women. Now, I didn't want to kind of believe it in the beginning until I start seeing other things. I said, oh, okay, it is true. Like, it is true about, how you move, and talking to him in private and hearing how he talks to black women. I was like, okay, something is clicking, and it's clicking down. But instead of over the years of growing and realizing that, hey, we have contributed to some very toxic stuff online talking about black women in such nasty ways, instead of understanding and policing ourselves, Dineva has chosen to continuously say the same things as if nothing, as if we're still in 2010 and 2011, 2012, and it's disgusting. While you owe your platform to heterosexual black women. Heterosexual black women have put you on. They have given you visibility. It's not heterosexual black men that's watching you. It's not white men that's watching you. It's not even that many gay men watching you. It is heterosexual black women watching you and engaging in consuming your content. And unfortunately, like, black women are so used to misogyny and stuff. Some of them don't clock it immediately, but some folks do. And now that some of us have become more aware and speaking on these things, now it's kind of like, oh God, like, yeah, that's disgusting. But he's been saying things like that. So have other like black bloggers and black YouTubers and stuff when being critical of pop culture. Even myself, I've had to check myself on some past content I've done and continuously unlearning and being more responsible when talking about said issues and not doing it in the way that, oh, I'm a black gay man, I can't do too much, I don't benefit from this system or whatever. And yes, I do. So Dineva has not changed. And what is concerning to me is that Dineva still has a platform where he can spew hatred and vitriol stuff about black women. There was no reason to be that hypercritical of Chloe. You could have just said, hey, like, sister, she looked like she pregnant. You can try to defend her if you want to. I know you riding down for your sister. It is what it is. But girl, your sister is pregnant, boots down the house. Like, you could have said something like that. But to engage in calling her ugly and saying that she's not hood. She's like, Dineva, you don't even like hood black folks. You don't even like black folks, period. And you damn sure don't like quote-unquote ghetto black folks. You've said that several times in your video. And two of the videos that just come top to my mind is one that all this hatred towards black women doesn't exist. I remember when that video came out and so many black women came to me and commented on my video and commented and tweeted me and was just like, have you seen this, da da da. I was like, yeah, it's not surprising. And a lot of, unfortunately, because I got a tug on a couple of wigs, unfortunately you all saw that and then y'all gradually came back and engaged in his content, because truth of the matter is a lot of us, unfortunately, are operating in anti-blackness. We have no problem watching Dineva drag some folks that we don't care about or whatever, because we don't really care about anti-blackness per se into somebody that we like or we appreciate. But when he was saying things about everybody else and these other celebrities we don't really care about, it was no issue. There was none. He's been saying that. Foxhole is the most disgusting platform I've ever seen. They're probably top two with the Shade Room, to be honest. Every time there's a clip from Foxhole, it's classism, it is anti-blackness, it's transphobia, dipped in a little bit of homophobia, and you have two black gay men on here who have no surface analysis of anything. Dineva will tell you in a minute he didn't go to school for any of that. He went to school for accounting. And even that didn't show up well when it came to him counting his own funds throughout the years of his career. I'm not interested in calling Funkadeneva ugly. I'm not interested in calling him a silverback gorilla. That's some of the tweets I'm seeing about him. I'm not even interested in talking about his alleged addiction or him liking said stuff up his nose. All that stuff is irrelevant. That doesn't make him a quote-unquote bad person. What makes him a bad person is the things that he says about black women with no type of regard. None. None. And the nerve of Claudia to be sitting right next to Funkadeneva, allowing him to say something like that. Girl, you're worse than Angela Yee at this point. Like, you are sitting next to black gay men laughing and making comments about this black woman, and not 1 second are you able to say, hey, now we can talk about this without saying that, because you know what? You don't even have the analysis to recognize misogyny and anti-blackness, because just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you understand what is going on right then and there, and you didn't catch it. That's what makes people like Claudia Jordan, Funkadeneva, and Al dangerous, because y'all don't have any type of surface analysis of these things y'all are talking about. Y'all are just offering opinions. Like, y'all are really on the right show, to be honest. Y'all on the right network, Fox. Y'all are just as bad as the white conservatives on Fox saying disgusting things like this. Y'all just do it under a different type of gaze. And it's disgusting and quite sad, to be honest. Y'all are sitting in front of walls on a web show with bad lighting and bad what's the name, and y'all out here critiquing Chloe for defending her sister. Nothing's wrong with saying, hey, having an opinion on it, but the way y'all are being critical of her doesn't even connect to what Chloe even did. To call this black woman ugly and to say that she looks worse without makeup, she needs makeup, like, are you okay? Are you okay? And again, not interested in calling Funkadeneva a dark-skinned gay man ugly. Dineva, he knows that he is not read as desirable. He knows what ugliness is. And ugliness is actually not a bad thing. I'm just not interested in moving away and calling a dark-skinned person ugly and talking about their features. We are then participating in the same said anti-blackness and things that Dineva is doing constantly on Fox Soul. We cannot fight anti-blackness with anti-blackness. We cannot fight the system with the system. We will never win. Because y'all are further proving his point. Because you should be demonized if you are ugly. And what is and what isn't ugly? Who gets to determine what is and what isn't ugly? This whole thing is about Dineva being a misogynist. And that is something that we should be sticking to. We shouldn't be talking about his issues of addiction or any of these things. Because people suffer from addiction. Addiction is a disease. So we can't get on one stage and say that we care about people battling addiction and all this other stuff and then making fun of Funkadeneva for having an unalleged addiction. We can't sit up here and say we care about dark-skinned people and people with specific black features that, oh, we care about these looks, you are beautiful, and then calling someone like Dineva who has these same said features ugly. Like, it's the same thing I'm seeing right now when it comes to conversation about Donald Trump and all of the ugly things that he has done over the years, how he is a disgusting, vile, person, and why we are only focusing on how much he weighs on the mugshot. There are so many things that Donald Trump has done over the years, even just his presidency. Instead of talking about these things, we are grabbing low-hanging fruit and talking about his weight as if fat people do not exist like myself. So you're calling this person ugly. What do you think about me? If you're calling this person fat and disgusting, you're saying that, oh, they're fat, da, da. So you're trying to attach fatness with this behavior. And that's how y'all read fat folks. That's how y'all read people who are ugly. There's a reason why we watch movies and we consume so much content, so much media, and people who are evil in the things that we see always have a specific look because we have been programmed and conditioned to believe that only people who look like this cause harm. So bad that when a person who is read as desirable causes harm, we offer them grace because there's no way you are too attractive or too pretty to be doing something so quote-unquote ugly, because ugliness and behavior is only reserved for folks who are seen as ugly. And when we talk about who is and who isn't ugly, it's oftentimes people who look like me. And that's why I'm not interested in calling Funkadeneva ugly. I'm only interested in critiquing him and his misogyny and how he's been moving in misogynoir throughout the whole entire time of his career. And it needs to end quickly. Oh, bitch, I ate that.